Um, who's your favorite Instagrammer? Um, Definitely McAdoo, and I also really like Brooke Shaden Gallery, obviously. Um, yeah, I don't know. He his picture style is just like a lot like mine, and makes me sad that he left. But he still has a Flickr, so I can go look at his beautiful photographs on there. So that is good. Um, but yeah, his work, his art is just inspiring and it has meaning and it's everything that I try to be with my pictures. And I just think it's cool that there's someone else who does the same thing as me and who expresses their self in photography the same way that I do. And I like that a lot. That I have someone to relate to or someone who's like me. It's just I don't like when I am like everyone else because I don't feel different and I feel like a copy and not an individual. I like being an individual. And when I first had an Instagram, I tried to be someone that I wasn't and I tried to make my photos like everyone else's. And it just wasn't me. Like, it wasn't what I wanted to do with my pictures. I wasn't going out and taking pictures from my mind. I was taking them and copying what I had seen and trying to be like all the other people. And yeah, my pictures were pretty. They were well taken. They were of pretty people. And so they were pretty and they were good photographs, but they didn't have a meaning and they didn't really require any thought and they had no part of me in them. So I liked them at first and I liked that I was getting better at taking pictures and I think that's why I liked them at first because they were better than the last pictures that I had taken. But after I did a new photo shoot, all my past pictures were like horrible to me. I hated them and I wanted to delete everything. And I normally did delete a lot of the stuff. And I don't know, they just look like replicas of everything else. There was nothing different. So whenever I started taking pictures like I do now, now that I look back on everything, I like my old pictures and probably my old pictures even more than my recent ones. And that's probably just because they have more of a meaning because it's when I like broke free of what I had been doing and I actually created from my own mind and they're special to me. So all my pictures now are special to me and I think they represent something and that's why I like them a lot. I don't know. I'm happy with my pictures now. Someone asked what size gauges do you have? I'm currently at a 2 and then in about a week or two I'll go to a 0. But oh my god, this is weird. Okay. Sorry, my camera's like reflected so I can't really. Yeah, that's like a hole. But yeah. Favorite genre of movies? I like comedy movies a lot. Um, and then adventure movies and movies based off of books, although they kind of piss me off because they're not similar enough. And I just saw, like, I literally just finished The Perks of Being a Wallflower, the movie, and the ending was good and I cried a little, but the first part of the movie pissed me off because it wasn't as good as the book and everyone was different than I imagined them and that always happens and like the Hunger Games was the same way, like it pissed me off so much because it wasn't how I imagined it in my head while I was reading. Um, if you could model with any celebrity, who would it be? Um, Probably Francisco Wachowski, because he's my man crush and perfection, and he's like my modeling um, inspiration, I guess. Because I want to be a big time model, and I really want to do like runway for like Dolce and Gabbana and stuff like that. Like travel around and model clothes in like a real time. Like I don't really like pictures, I guess. Sometimes they turn out good, but I don't like pictures of myself because I'm kind of awkward and I feel uncomfortable trying to be like sexy in front of someone else. I don't know. It weirds me out. So, yeah. Um, Unicorn or Pegasus? Um, Pegasus, I guess. Do I expect to make a career in photography, and if so, what would I focus on most? Um, well, I'm not exactly sure what Brooke Shaden does, how she makes money or whatnot, but I really want to have my pictures, like I want to sell my pictures and I want them to be in exhibits and stuff like that, but I also want to do like wedding photography and senior pictures and make people happy with their pictures. And I also really like wedding photography because you're like capturing that happy moment, and I think weddings are like really beautiful, and seeing people because it's like the happiest time in their life. And although like weddings are kind of a disaster at the same time, but I mean it's like the best moment of their life because they finally found that one person, they're getting married to them and all that good stuff. So I just like the idea of like capturing that in a picture and pictures, whatever. But I don't know. And I want to model, and I don't know. Things may not work out how I expect, but I'm confident and I'm determined. And so whatever happens, happens, and I'll be happy if I'm doing something that I enjoy. So I don't know. I don't really know what the future will bring, but it'll be good. It'll be a good future for me. Um, did you want to be an Olympic swimmer? I did, actually, when I was a little kid. Um, I used to be like a really good swimmer, and then my dad lost his job, and it was too much money for like club swimming, and so I quit, and then I just did like high school swimming and summer league, and it wasn't enough to really train me, get me better, and keep me. Well, I mean, it just kept me at where I was. Like, I'm the same speed, pretty much, as I was, like, 4 or 5 years ago. Like, I was the 8th best breaststroker in the state of Texas. And now, I don't even know. Like, I'm a good swimmer, I'm just not, like, anything fantastic. Um, what's your favorite movie, TV show, quote? If you could live anywhere, where would you live? I want to live in LA, definitely. Nowhere else. LA, 100%. Favorite movie, Perks of Being a Wallflower, just because that book, like, is the definition of my life, and Charlie is, like, me in another person character. I don't know. But I'm obsessed with that book and movie, and I love it so much. And it's like I can't even explain it. And that's the thing that like inspired me to write, to write, and to read, and to do more. So I don't know. That's my favorite movie. TV show I really like Big Bang Theory and Suburgatory and I like Glee, and I like a lot of TV shows. And my favorite quote, it's from a book that I read called Happiness and the Art of Zen, and says that anything and everything that happens is the best thing that could possibly happen. And that basically means that what happens to you happens for a reason, and it's meant to bring the best outcome possible. And so when something you think is bad happens to you, you need to turn it around in your head and think about how it's going to affect you later on, what it's going to teach you, and that it isn't bad, and it might change things at the moment, but it isn't bad, and it's good. And basically, what that book has taught me is that bad things don't happen to people. It's the only reason we think they're bad is because that's what we've been taught. We've been taught that when you get in a car accident while drunk driving, I'm just using this as an example, but if you get in a car accident while drunk driving, that's bad. And yes, it's bad because it's dangerous and all that kind of stuff, but it teaches the person a lesson, and it's just a predetermined thing, like we've been taught that certain things are bad and certain things are good, so that's how we think of them whenever they happen to us. But it's really just our own mind telling us what's good and bad, and that we can change that, and that we should change that, because everything affects you in a positive way. Maybe not in the present, but in the future, it has a positive effect. Why don't you wear shirts in your pictures? Okay, the reason I don't wear shirts and try to not look like I'm wearing any clothes, like I always wear pants, but sometimes I like pull them down like halfway down to like my butt, and it's because I think that it's distracting, and I like the rawness of clothes not showing, and I think that the human body is beautiful, and that it itself is like an art. And I also like pictures where the body is like contorted in strange ways and extra arms and stuff like that, because I think it's pretty and I think it's artistic and different, and I don't know. Some people would say it's creepy or weird, but I don't know. I like it, and I like my pictures, and so I think that reflects on other people. But if you don't like it, then don't look at my pictures. And that's all I have right now. Hold on, let me refresh this. Okay, so yeah, that's it. This video is 35 minutes long, so I might just like break it up into parts and post it. Yeah, okay, bye. Okay, I forgot to answer this in like the first video, but I use a Canon 7D, and I have 6.5mm fisheye lens and a 17 to 135 zoom lens and a fixed lens 50mm 1.8. Okay, bye. I love you.